Okay, we're going to go ahead and start working on our journal. And you see we've already covered a lot in our journal already. Okay, today we're going to talk about some problem solving, and we're going to solve some problems. So go ahead and put problem solving. Problem solving, and we're going to start on page 31. And we're going to be doing problem solving for a little bit, so I'm going to kind of leave that blank there, so we can go ahead and see all the pages that we're going to be working with problem solving on. And we're going to talk about a lot of different types of problem solving strategies. So let's go ahead and turn to page 31. Okay, there's where we talked about our addition. So we're over here. We're going to start on page 31. And so put problem solving right here. Problem solving. Okay, and we're going to take the handout that we had, and if you don't have the handout, that's okay. It wouldn't be too much for you to copy down. You can go ahead and open the handout on your computer. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put, if you do want to copy stuff, run copies of it off, I try to put it all in on Mondays. That way you have it all right there, and it's a little bit easier in case, like if you want to run somewhere and have it done. That way you don't have to make copies every day. So we're going to talk about this problem solving strategy here, cubes. So, and this, you should be pretty familiar with this strategy because you would have used it last year. It's a pretty common strategy, even if you weren't here at school last year with us. Probably a pretty good chance that teachers all over like this strategy, and we use it a lot. So we're going to go ahead and put that right there in the center of our book. And we'll have this to reference to. And we'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, so it's for word problems. Okay, the C in the cube stands for circle and numbers, and I would add the numbers and their labels because the labels are important. The labels are what the numbers are referring to. So if it's 3, it's 3 pencils or 3 books. So we'd circle both those, the number and the labels. Underline the question, and that's kind of usually at the bottom. The bottom line is it's kind of telling us what we need to figure out. Box in keywords, and those keywords are not necessarily keywords, but things that in the question that's telling us, what do we need to do. E is evaluate. Okay, evaluate and draw, and that you see a little bubble right there. So you're thinking about what you're going to do, and you may draw some sort of a model of what you want to do or how you're going to solve it. You can draw pictures. So if it's talking about books, you could draw pictures of books. If it's talking about 5 books, you can draw 5 books, and then you got 3 more books. You draw 3 more books. So that would be an example of how you would draw it. And solve is basically taking and doing the computation, working it out, and go ahead and are you going to do an addition problem, a subtraction problem, and later on we'll start talking about multiplication and division type problems too. Okay, we're going to go ahead and talk about a problem. We'll go ahead and show you the problem that we're going to work on. It's going to be that first one, talking about the smoothies. And like I said, if you don't have it, you can write the problem down. It's not that difficult. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer on our problem here. Okay, and also with gluing stuff in, use just a minimal amount of glue. Don't take a lot of glue because it's just a really small piece of paper. And it's going to be held in your book anyway. Basically, just going to put 3 little dots on there because I'm going to be drawing on here a little bit, and I don't want the paper to rip if I put a whole lot of glue on it. I'm going to put that right there at the top, and I have my problem right there. And I'm going to talk about my the cube strategy. So the first thing right there, it says circle the numbers, and I'm going to also circle the labels also. So well, first off, let's read the problem. Okay, and whenever we read the problem, teachers last year probably told you, you need to read it a few times. Read at least twice. just each time you read it, you may notice something else that's significant in the problem to help you solve it. But I'll read it once for you real quick. It says the smoothie shop, or the smoothie stop, sold 35 banana smoothies, 48 strawberry smoothies, and 25 orange smoothies. How many smoothies were sold in all? So the first step is to circle the numbers. Okay, and I'm going to circle the labels just like I said a minute ago also. So that's 35 banana smoothies, 48 strawberry smoothies, and 25 orange smoothies. So I circled the numbers and the labels. I'm going to write labels over here too. Numbers and labels. Okay, the next thing, underline the question. So this is kind of the bottom line. It's what is it asking us? So I always show everybody there's a question mark right there. I'm going to follow it all the way until we see either a period or exclamation point or another question mark. And if we see another question mark, that means there's probably another part to this question, so we need to probably look at that too. But or a lot of times I'll tell you to find the next capital letter, and then usually the capital letters start our sentences out. And this part I want to read it a few times. I usually tell you need to read this at least 3 times. And we'll look at it again. How many smoothies were sold in all? How many smoothies were sold in all? So at the end of this, I need to be able to say, okay, they sold this many smoothies in all. Next thing, it's B, the B for box in keywords. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, probably box in this in all. So I've got 35 banana smoothies, 48 strawberry smoothies, and 25 orange smoothies. And I need to figure out how many smoothies were sold in all. I'm having trouble saying smoothies. Okay, how many smoothies are sold in all? So I'm kind of looking at that. That in all kind of tells me the answer to this question is going to be a bigger. I'm going to write bigger right here. Bigger. My answer is going to be bigger than 35, 48, or 25. It's going to be a larger number than that. Okay, and that's sort of the E part, the evaluate. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at my what I boxed in right there. I'm looking at my numbers and my labels, and I'm looking at that in all. So I'm kind of evaluating right now, and I'm going to my answer is going to need to be bigger. So that's kind of telling me if something's going to be bigger. And right now we're talking about addition and subtraction. I believe I'm probably going to choose addition to solve this problem. It sounds like an addition problem. And the last part is solve right here. So I'm going to go back and we're going to do a couple other things here. We're going to relate a couple things here. We're going to look back at the U right here, what we underline. It says how many smoothies were sold in all? And when I'm all said and done, I need to be able to answer that question. So if I haven't answered that question, how many smoothies are sold in all, I'm not done. So I'm going to write a little sentence here right quick. So what I need to figure out, blank smoothies were sold. So I need to be able to answer that. How many smoothies were sold in all? I misspelled word, didn't I? There's an E right there, W-E-R-E. Were sold in all. Okay, so when I'm all said and done, I need to be able to tell me how many smoothies are sold in all. You notice I spelled smoothies correctly because it's in my question right there. And just put a punctuation back here because that's a sentence. Okay, the next thing I'm going to look at, the circled numbers. I want to look at these circled numbers. So I've got 35 banana smoothies, 48 strawberry smoothies, I'm just abbreviating, and 25 orange smoothies. So I kind of wrote all the information down there. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm kind of looking at that. That's the part that I circled right here. What I circled 35 banana smoothies, 48 strawberry smoothies, and 25 orange smoothies. So I need all this information. This is sort of like a grocery list of everything I'm going to need to solve this problem. And I could evaluate by drawing, because that's one of my steps right there. But we're going to get into that step next week a little bit about modeling our answers. So typically on a problem like this, since I see my numbers right here, and I see that it looks like an addition problem, looks like I'm going to probably have to add all those numbers together. So I'm going to go ahead. Remember, we talked about adding. If we're adding something, we want to make sure our place values are lined up nice, and they're lined up pretty good right here. But just to make extra sure, I'm going to go ahead and work out the problem right here. So 35, 48, and 25. And we said that's an addition problem right there. You see I lined up my place value nice and neat. I got all my ones places lined up, all my tens places lined up, and they're stacked up nice and neat there. Personally, you could do this as two steps. You could add 35 plus 48, and then take the sum of that and add it to 25. And we'll do that too. We'll do it over here. Personally, I like this because that really turns it into a one-step problem. And you can do it either way, whatever way is more comfortable for you. I know last year your teachers probably taught you to only add or subtract two numbers at a time. And when you're subtracting, you cannot subtract multiple numbers. That's another mistake I see third graders do. You cannot subtract more than two numbers at a time. So don't try to do a subtraction problem where you're stacking up three numbers and put a subtraction symbol there. It very seldom works out in your benefit here. But let's go ahead and look at this. So I'm going to take some compatible numbers and put them together there. I know 5 plus 5 equals 10. So I know 5 plus 5 equals 10, and that leaves 8. And I know 8 plus 10 is 18. But I'm not going to write 18 right here between these two little lines because I cannot have 18 in the ones place. So the 8 is in the ones place, and the 1 is in the tens place. So I'm going to go ahead and regroup and move my my 10 over there to the tens place. Let's go ahead and see if we see any other numbers that are compatible here, I guess. I might go ahead and put the 3 and 1 together and make that 4. Then I know 4 plus 4 is 8. So I can put those two together and make 8. And then 4 plus 2 would be 10. So again, I cannot write 10 in the tens place. 10 tens is actually 100. So you can either regroup over here like that, or you could just go ahead and put the 1 over here. So that tells me that it looks like there's 108 smoothies are sold in all. Let's go here, work the problem over here where we basically make it into a two-step problem. So I'm going to go ahead and add 35 and 48 together first. So if I add 35, if I add 5 plus 8, that is 13, because I know my addition facts really well. That means I'm going to have to regroup and go ahead and move the 1 from the 13, or the 10 from the 13 over the tens place. And then I'm going to go ahead and add, just like I did here. I did 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, let's talk about this really quick. If this is a multiple choice test, pretty good chance that answer choice A might be 83. Okay, because last year, pretty good chance your teacher may have taught you only add two numbers together at a time. That way you don't make a mistake. Okay, and people making tests, they like to trick us. They like to play tricks on us and stuff to make us, if we're not paying real close attention. And that would probably be one of the answer choices they put for A. So don't be tricked. Okay, now I need to go ahead and add my 25 oranges. I could go ahead and put that beside it too. So this was bananas. This is strawberries. I still got to do my orange smoothies right there, and that was 25 orange smoothies. So I'm going to go ahead and add 25 to the sum of 48 and 35. So 5 plus 3 I know is 8. Then 8 plus 2 is 10. Go ahead and regroup my 10, because 10 tens is 100, and that's 108 smoothies in all. So I would go ahead and fill in my blank over here. 100, I messed up right there, see? 108 smoothie. I almost wrote 180. We'll go ahead and put that as answer choice B, 180. That's false because my place values are not correct. We're going to put C was 108 smoothies. And D, I'm going to come with just a random number for D. We'll say 801 smoothies. So if you inverted the numbers around, that answer choice is there. So if you're not paying real close attention, you might look at that. And all those answer choices are feasible if you're not paying real close attention.